One of the best city builders and settlement managers of 2022 is coming to Steam on the 1st of November, and I want to give you important tips to get you started in Against the Storm. First one is really simple. Using the Alt key on your keyboard, you enable an overview on the screen which shows you all the current workplaces and settlers working there. You can even manage and change workers using the left click and the portrait of the settler you want to work in that workplace. Second tip is about homes, and it's much deeper, so it needs some explanations. Keeping your settlers' morale maximized in Against the Storm is of the highest importance. This is because if they start leaving your settlement due to low morale, you won't be able to finish the Queen's orders and your new settlement will fail. Be they humans, lizards, beavers, or harpies, all your settlers want similar things. A hearth to warm up at, a full belly, a place to sleep, and a place to unwind after a hard day of work. And if you can help them keep dry with some coats in the almost never-ending rains and storms, this is even better, except for the harpies, as their natural coat of feathers keeps them dry. This is why my second tip for you is to build homes for your settlers as soon as you start a new settlement, but only after you place the first woodcutters' camps and start chopping down trees or giant mushrooms for wood. This is because homes cost wood to build, but you also need a constant supply of it to keep the eternal fire going in the ancient hearth. This is the main source of morale for your settlers, and if it goes dark, so does your settlement. These new homes will boost your settlers' morale, and the uninterrupted supply of wood will keep the eternal fire going. Since only 3 settlers fit in one shelter, which is the simplest type of home, you will need a few to get started, but you will add more as you gain new settlers. Do remember to build these and other types of homes near the main ancient hearth or any other new hearth you build, because it only gives its beneficial warmth and morale boost inside a limited range around it. There are special home types specific to each species of settlers, but you unlock these near the end of each new settlement building mission, and you will not be able to unlock all of them. So only pick the one that benefits the species of settlers that has the lowest morale to give them that extra boost to keep them from leaving. Later, as you play through more missions and successfully build several settlements, you will unlock new blueprints for bigger homes, like this one, which can fit 6 citizens but doesn't give the extra boost to a single species. Another way to keep settlers' morale high is to feed them complex foods they like. My tip here is that you can learn about complex foods by expanding the settlers panel over to the top left and looking through the icons representing food. Each species has favorite complex foods and some tastes overlap. Another way to see these favorites is to open up the consumption control menu over to the top right. Here you can see the positive impact on morale each type of complex food has on each species of settlers you have in your settlement at that moment. In this menu, you can also see the bonuses gained by clothing, education, leisure, brawling, cleanliness, luxury, and religion. Again, these are not universal and each species has its preferences. Since you will never be able to have all buildings unlocked and constructed in the same settlement mission, you will never be able to satisfy all needs of all settlers. You need to pick 1 or 2 for each, especially if they overlap, and concentrate on those. This is also directly connected to the available resources on the map where you are currently building your settlement. When you are in the marshlands, you won't find any fertile ground for farms to grow grain and brew ale to have leisure for both your humans and beavers. But you might find other materials used in other types of buildings to satisfy some other need for humans or maybe of other species. This map type is where the traders will be your lifeline, because they will bring in stuff you cannot grow or make on these maps. Building a trading post will start the clock to the next trader arrival. But while you can build more than 1 trading post, it won't lead to more traders coming, so 1 is enough. And you need it very early in the building of each new settlement, my advice being to build it after the 2 woodcutters camps and 3 shelters. My tip here is to carefully look at the prices of each item and consider what they are used for. First, because you don't want to sell what you need, but what you can spare and don't use locally. Secondly, because while raw resources might seem most abundant and even have good value, you don't want to be selling them. The reason behind this is the fact that all raw resources can be crafted in combination with others into more expensive items or into many more less expensive items whose combined value is much higher than those starting raw resources. It is these middle or final products that have some of the highest prices, excluding rare items and packaged goods. An extra tip here is to construct a rain collector or even two on maps such as the marshlands, where you have limited natural resources for making items. Since the rain collector creates items out of the rain that keeps falling, it requires no extra input except work from your settlers while it creates items with value. And you can further increase the value for trading by combining spark dew with other items to make crystallized bars of it, which sell for considerably more. Trading these for Ember and then using Ember to buy production boosts from traders is also a very good tip, as these will help you upgrade production or speed up your settlers in some way. Another way to make your settlers speed up production or gain boosts is to match settler species specialization with the specialization of the production or gathering building. You can see each settler species specialization by hovering your mouse over their portrait in the top left, while you can find the specialization of buildings just under their name to the right when you click on one. Beavers are great when it comes to wood cutting, production of things from wood, mining and similar workplaces. Humans like to farm and produce ale, lizards prefer working with meat, collecting or grilling it, and in hot workplaces like the smelter. Harpies like to work with clothes and so on. These specializations also impact the bonus gain from the ancient Hearth, as depending on which species of settlers keeps the fire going, your settlers in its range get a different bonus. Each bonus has its best use during different weather. If you're low on wood, the beaver helps keep its usage low. If you need an extra boost for morale during a storm, the lizard helps there, and so on. Another tip about hearts is to burn extra fuel to gain a special bonus for a time. Depending on what is going on in your settlement, there are different bonuses that will help greatly. If you have angered the forest with too many woodcutters, opening up new glades, having a high population, then burning extra wood or coal will reduce the negative influence of the angry forest, especially during a storm when your settlers' morale is already taking a hit. Other fuel types give you other situational bonuses which will greatly benefit you at certain times. Some more short tips are to keep moving your gathering buildings around the map and different glades to get them near their appropriate resources to keep settlers' paths as short as possible. Moving those gathering buildings is free. Correct placing of buildings in against the storm is also highly important. You want your homes close to the main hearth so settlers can feel warm and safe, while buildings which use and produce items need to be close to your town hall, which is your main stockpile, to keep delivery times short. Buildings from where settlers go to collect raw resources can and will be on the edges of your settlement. When you discover fertile land, usually some of it will be blocked by trees. So cut all the trees around a fertile field to uncover more fertile tiles. Marking trees for cutting with the mark tool and checking the box in the woodcutter's camp to only cut marked trees will prevent accidental opening of new glades, some of which might carry dangers you are not prepared to deal with. And on that topic, make sure to trade for tools when you have a chance, because they are very often the item necessary to complete tasks in newly opened glades, which give you big rewards, useful for both the completion of the scenario and life of your settlers. Another very important tip is to always check what resources can be used in a building for recipes when making new items, and also when you are solving many tasks inside glades. This is because behind most items is a radial menu which lets you switch which items are used, and if you do not have one item available, you might have some alternatives stockpiled and ready. This game, while small in scope, is full of overlapping gameplay systems and mechanics, some of which I haven't even mentioned during this video, and some of which I did but didn't explain in detail. So until I post another video like this one, you should watch my guide on how to play against the storm, shown here as a card, to complete your knowledge on how to build and maintain a successful settlement. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!